Here are some of my likes: old books, good beer, before and after photos, science fiction, and the sunshine on my face. Here are some things I dislike: the willfully ignorant, blueberries, and sponges.
Literally or figuratively, sponges.
Literally, sponges. I think it is really important that everyone makes an effort to improve their own lives and see their own potential, realize their own potential, and with the extra that they will invariably have left over, because you will always have something extra, use that to help the people around you stand and realize their own potential. And we could rise into a glorious new world of life and love and beauty and robots.
We just met one of the most amazing men. His name is Otis Stevenson. He's one of the security guards on the property at the North Carolina State Fairgrounds, and when he came by to collect the check for us staying here another night, he just started sharing his story about his wife that he just lost like 9 weeks ago, someone he had been married to like 42 years, and he just started telling me stories of how they met, and, you know, like, he still remembers the way she smelled on the first day that he went on a date with her, and it was just so heartbreaking. But at the same time, you know, he's also sharing about his dreams of, like, writing, and how he's published a book or two, and just started telling me about his book. So, you know, we all decided that not only would we buy a book from him for him to send to us, but to give him a little extra so that he could share his stories with other people as well. You know, to give it to whoever he feels would be inspired by his book, because you could tell it was something that was, he's a beautiful writer. Recited a piece of poetry he wrote right off the top of his head. Just such a sweet, romantic, just old-fashioned good guy. And I think he touched us just as much as, you know, it seemed like we touched him by what we did. We would love for you to also...
Oh my God.
We wanted to buy 2 books also for whoever you feel would be inspired by your book.
Oh man, good heavens. Look at it. So when I first called Otis, I told him what spot we were in, he mentioned, oh, the girl with the
really stunning smile, and he was talking about Kat because Kat had a run-in with him earlier. He came by to check on us, and so when he came back and he was apologizing, saying that I wasn't trying to, say anything in a bad way, but, the smile reminded me of my wife, and that's when he started telling the story about his wife that he lost 9 weeks ago, and just, how much he still missed her, and how much she meant to him, and what an amazing lady she was. He just would light up every time he talked about her, and saying that, it's the, I not only loved her, but I liked her. I liked her. We would finish each other's sentences, and it's just amazing what a little thing like that just sparked the conversation, and I just kept asking the questions, and he was just so willing. You could tell he was just like yearning to share and talk to somebody about it, because me just being there and him sharing it, just, God, it was so awesome to hear just that too, of 42 years of marriage. 42 years of marriage, and it sounded like it was amazing.
Well, that he was still in love.
Yeah. Just inspiring. It just made me think, damn it, I'm not settling for anything less than that. 42 years of an amazing marriage.
Really good. I will honor. I will send you that book. That's the truth. You'll get that book.
More than that, I want you to spread it to whoever needs to hear the story. You're an amazing writer.
The girl's a gifted artist. To do what you're doing, I mean, think about it, all over the country. It's good when you share yourself with someone sometimes.
It is.
I mean, I had a crappy day. I felt like crap all day long. I had a lady hug her husband and I choked up. We used to do that. Being alone's a pain in the butt. It really is. Especially when you're used to people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I knew when we would talk, I'd know what she was going to say. You know what I mean? And then another thing, I always helped her so much in the house. Like I did the laundry, I did the cleaning, washing the clothes. I cleaned up the house a lot, swept before, mopped before. I didn't really do that crap. It was just, like I said, a lot.
He said the trick is not just love them, like them.
That's the key.
When you gave him the card and he read it, he started crying, and he told us that he felt like we were angels sent to him to be there for him right now. And all I could really think of is, we almost left tonight. We almost went somewhere else. We almost left. And had we done that, we would not have been in his company. We would not have met him. We would not be touched by him and his story. He would not be touched by us and what we're doing. And I mean, it's those tiny moments, those tiny moments of small decisions that we don't know the effect that they're going to have. We could have missed this altogether, but we didn't, and I have a feeling that it's going to change all of us.
I feel like it already has.
Yeah.
Today we are going to donate blood. I do not enjoy the process of giving blood. I love what it stands for, but the actual feeling of it really makes me uncomfortable. But I'm going to do it anyways because it's important.
Break on through to the other side.
And And we're slow to acknowledge the knots in our laces, audit races. And we go back to where we moved out, to the places, audit races. I bought it in a can and stirred it with my fingers, singing. Threw it out the window. Lately you've been dead, suspicious for the winter with your legs like little splinters. Legs like little splinters. And we're slow to acknowledge the knots in our laces, audit races. And we go back to where we moved out, to the places, audit races. I sold it to a man, threw him out that window. He would.
What's been coming up a lot this week for us has been the topic of relationships, and not only what does it take to have a fulfilling, successful, love-filled relationship, but also your way of being in the relationship. So we wanted to ask Kat, who is a great example for us of someone in a very amazing, loving, connected relationship, what her input is, so that not only are we hearing it, but we get to share it with all of you today. Hi, Kat.
Hi.
Hi. Hello again.
Hello again. So, burning question I'm sure everyone wants to know is, what is the background? How did you meet Nick? And what is the path that you guys have been on to get to where you are right now?
Well, Nick and I were roommates first. He applied to live in the same place that I was living, and he was really cute and sweet, and so I said, yes, you may live with me. And we just ended up spending so much time together and those first couple of weeks, and just really progressed into a really solid, beautiful friendship with, making eyes at each other.
What is your take on give and take in relationships?
I don't actually like that term. I think it sounds too much like a business transaction. I don't think that in life as well as love you should give with the expectation of getting something back. It's not, I give you this, so that means you have to give me that. It's not so much a negotiation in terms of, if you come from that really pure place of love in your heart towards the other person, and they are too, then you're both putting in positive energy. You're both putting in like the efforts and the little ways that you say, and the big ways that you say that I love you. And when you're both putting into the pot, then it just raises everybody else up and improves the relationship, and that is what's so fulfilling about it.
What has been a challenge for you in this relationship?
I want to say that my biggest challenge is learning patience with myself and with him, because we're just trying to learn how to do this. We're trying to learn about life. We're trying to learn about love and our own relationships and our own personal growth too. And just learning how to give myself a break, not be so hard on myself, not be so hard on him. If he does something that I don't like, it's not he's trying to do it to me like to be mean. He messes up, I mess up, and just knowing that we're still in love, we're madly in love, then it's fine. Just work through it and just be patient with the other person. And also know that someone else's halfway isn't necessarily your halfway, and knowing to go from their perspective and seeing that they think that they're going halfway. And so it's not just compromise, and you can't just say like, oh, you know, I'm here, where are they? I thought we were going to meet in the middle. They're thinking the same thing. So just learning to really think about the other person too, because there are two people involved.
And what's it been like for you to be out here on the road and away from Nick?
That's a hard question because I miss him terribly, but I'm having so much fun out here. And I also feel like this whole trip is like a gift from him because he's the one who gave me the courage to, you know, take this risk and quit my job and do this crazy adventure with you guys, but he knew that's what I needed. And so like every day I wake up and I just feel really thankful to him, and I feel connected with him in that way. And also we just communicate all the time, little love notes in different ways, and it makes it easier, but I still can't wait. I think about when we pull up into wherever we're gonna pull up and he's waiting there already. Like, I think about that.
Oh man. And do you have any advice for anybody who's still looking for their partner in crime?
Yes, I do. Don't settle. Don't settle. Don't think like, well, he's almost right for me. Like, we have fun. That's okay. That's good. But when you find the one where it's just like everything comes together, and it doesn't mean that it won't be exactly how you're imagining, like Prince Charming coming, you know, through the clouds or whatever, but just don't settle, but also be open to the idea of the guy or the girl looking exactly how you have imagined right now, because the core bits will be there, just like we were talking about with the dream. You know, like you have what is really important about your dream, and it being open to looking different ways. But you'll know that it's your dream because you'll know in your heart that you're on the right path. It's the same way.
Okay.
So it seems like one of the Jesus.
Okay.
So it seems like one of the lessons that we're supposed to be learning out here on the road is to not be tied to any specific idea or vision of how something's supposed to look. And when we're coming from a pure place of giving, then that positive energy that's out there will come back around, and we just have to be open to the idea of it looking different than we might think. And that's true in both life and love. So we're just trying to be mindful of our intention and our motivation of where we are when we give.
Let me look at your veins and make sure. My veins are kind of awesome.
Yeah?
Yeah.
This is so I don't burst open.
Not quite, but okay.
Everybody loves the coach. Yeah. Everybody loves the coach. Sing it with me now. Everybody loves the coach. Everybody loves the coach.
This one so I don't burst open.